When I pull up in the spot, they be asking what I got. Gas for an extra mile, an extra inch for the dot. When I pull up in the spot, better show me what you got. Red beam.
Welcome to another smashing episode of Podcast with Soul. My name is Samuel Soul, and we're still shooting outside. We're still outside. And on today's episode, we have a very special guest. I'll just let him do the introduction. Introduce yourself.
All right. My name is Jack Makotoni Mabokachaba. Kumjita kokasi, man. Kumjita kokasi. I'm an actor, a poet, a voiceover artist, a model. I'm actually an over-rounder, how we call it. Yeah,
that's
an
how
all-rounder artist. Yeah, I'm an all-rounder artist. Yeah, and yeah.
That's good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Actually, as a guy who grew up Mukasi, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very inspirational, like what you're doing and where you've been. Like it's a story that a lot of people can actually learn from. Can you tell us a little bit about your background? Where did you start acting, your poetry?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, background in there. Fine. I grew up Mokasi. I came in Gauteng, specifically more diepsloot in 2005. Okay. Right? Yeah, I completed my primary, my high school here in 2014. Yeah, 2014 I was completing my matric. Then 2015 I had a gap year. Gap year, fine, I didn't know what to do. I was still trying to find myself.
Trying to figure out.
Yeah, life for a guy, because I didn't know what I want. And lately 2015, September, 15 specifically. That was 2 days.
Dog, still remember the dates, like the exact dates?
That was the day, two days after my birthday, because my birthday was on the 30th.
Okay.
Then I went, go to. Actually, before go to, I was doing some volunteer teaching for some school, primary school.
Okay.
There's this group
of primary school.
Yeah. There's this group of artists who they came through Nemanyaka Space out here. They were preparing for some competition. And then I just went there to watch them rehearsing. And then something was boiling, man, inside. I was like, man, this is my world. But I didn't know, okay, I'm capable of doing that. Then I asked them, okay, I go to, come Monday, 5 o'clock, go the high school. 15 September Wednesday. Okay, I just went there, they were raising poets and all that. But like when people are doing something, you feel like you can do this, but you've never done it before. Then I was like, man. Then there's this guy who kept on making mistakes. So because of this boiling thing, and Kapalaku was like, hey Joe, so. Then they stopped, they looked at me, they were like, come here, join up. Do that and do that. Then I did it. They were like, wait, where do you come from? I was like, they're like, okay, fine. If you're comfortable, you can come and join us and be part of the organization. And then from there, like it's more like I was like a rough diamond. Then they kept on like peeling off, polishing me off. And then I started discovering things, learning by myself. I'm like, oh wow, I can do that. And now when I reflect back from primary times and all that, I would always like, excel during art and all that. And the teachers were like, there's something in you, but I didn't take it serious. I was like, just think even high school people are like, how I act too much, because I would like to be like a fool around and pull stands. I'm like, hey, we're now drama king, and now when I reflect, I'm like, actually, this
it's always been there.
It has been there. But nonetheless, besides art, Kim Jita Kokasi, Kohotsu Kokasi 2015, even to be specific, Kohotsu Kokasi number 1.
Station 1.
Station 11. Yeah, 11 and 1. But first it was Ko 1. Then I moved to go Station 11. And that's where I pushed things. But that's where most of my inspiration.
So was it only poetry sessions there?
No,
or it was just
it was just art in general, whereby you also do the contemporary dance, you do acting, you do singing. So it's art in general. It's just a matter of saying, what are your strongest points, or maybe what are the fields you explore. To understand? Yeah, and from there now the whole environment started inspiring me. To understand, to be like, hey man, I've realized a lot of people are not doing this, even though there are those who are doing this. there's a history or a database of lineage of people who gave up along the way. And I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna be part of the number. So I understand that. Yeah, I'm just gonna be that person to show people, you know what, it's possible. The more you put in the work, something's gonna give in at some point.
So after that, you went and joined that agency, or you went to that school, the Duma Academy.
The Duma Ndlovu, how can I put this? 2015, that's when I ventured into the arts. 2016, still I was doing the arts at a different level. 2017, it's where now I went to school.
Okay.
When I went to school at UJ. In that process, I was now tackling school, academics, formal academics, and art. But then I got advice of saying, an agent that is reputable and all that.
Yeah, so that you can actually get more gigs.
Sure. Then I kept on applying for someone like suggested this other dope link. And actually I go some school project. I was like, check this link. There's a list of reputable South African agencies. Send them. I mean, the standards they were high. Yeah. You need to be a graduate from a drama school or have this impressive experience. But something in me was like, man, Jack, apply.
Another time, you're not having any of those.
Sure. So I had like one email compiled properly, structured with the show reel. Give it a copy and paste each and every agent under that list. Send them. Guess what? Rejection, Kaufe. Rejection. I think for 4 years. Rejection. Send them same agencies for 4 years. But in this 4 years, I've been busy building up my profile. Okay. On the 5th year, this agent was the last one even to respond amongst 13 if not 12 agencies. And they were like, hey, come through to our office to discuss the possibilities of representing. I was like, no way. Because when I compared those agencies, when I was telling the agent, you could tell her, nah, these ones are still
upcoming. This one can take.
And then this one, it has been in the game. And when you look at their database and people Baba represent, you're like, what? I understand. And then Duma Ndlovu happened 2019. And now Duma Ndlovu Academy, it's like more of advanced academy because it's a mixture of people who have talent and people who graduated from school. So the teaching, it's not of basic and all that. It's nothing of saying you need to catch up. You need to always stay prepared because at any moment, any casting director or any executive producer into the classroom. So because the classrooms were held could get there and there could be like monologue. And when they say monologue, you need to jump on stage because you don't know whether you are just performing to get notes or you are performing to get a role winner. Understand? Because we once got a team here. One of the administrators there was like, guys, a team with Duma Ndlovu, which is the owner of muvhango, was like, when you are here, always stay prepared because when that man comes in, how cannot say now, combat you stage.
You need to be ready.
You might not be auditioning for now. But he knows and remembers these people. 5 years later, he might contact you to be like, hey, I saw you. I want you now. I have something for you. Which I'm a living testimony today. Sort of.
Oh, but you were part of the production in muvhango in the recent thing.
Yeah. And now, guess from 2019, we have 2020, 2021. 2022, I'm getting a call.
But like, what was your first gig, like television gig, before the muvhango?
First television gig was Boshego. Boshego was a Mzansi Magic film. That was the first professional gig you got. Because before I've been doing like a lot of after projects, study school, graduation.
Which is where they were in theater.
Not really theater, but it's after. It's one of the private schools, those ones. So, but they are professionally trained using professional equipment, which I think it's a lot of great talent. Sure, it's a great experience for me because it was a preparation to be in the professional world. So even when I was shooting my first professional film, I was not blunt. I was familiar with the language
and the sound.
The equipment, who's who, the roles and all that. Yeah, and since then, doors started opening, followed by what was it? I think Ipela
That's the first law.
Yeah. You know, and then other projects started coming in, and professional theater plays started coming in. You know, when things now start popping like popcorns.
Yeah, popcorns.
And you're like, okay, what
even
did
know
you
what to
guys
choose.
hear of
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Why am I getting calls? But then I realized,
It's time.
the time when I was busy investing my time, Kispana, working with people, even though they said, we just want you to help, they're now paying off, because some of the project is people I've worked with when they were in school, and now because they got budget and all that,
Yeah.
they now recommend me and reference to me to say, hey Joe, we once worked with some guy, Motier, or ask him for an audition and all that, and I'm grateful that I went through that kind of a change.
And that's pretty dope.
I understand.
That's pretty dope.
Because now coming to Muvhango, it's now November. It was early September.
Yeah.
And in the morning I was sleeping. Early morning, Kabu 80. It's one lot. You know, early morning, Kabu 80, there's a call. Hi Jack, this is so and so from the Muvhango casting team and all that. We've got a role for you. Here are the rates. What's your take? I was like, wait, what? From who? Where? Why?
For a moment you thought it was a scam.
Yeah,
But
you know,
like, no,
because
so.
I have foolish friends.
Yeah.
There's this one who wants like pranked me like that. I was like, sorry, I was slow down. You saying who are you? I was like, hey, my name is Mamang from Muvhango and all that. We've got a role for you.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah.
So you're telling me that you didn't really audition for that role?
I auditioned the second time.
Oh, the second time.
Sure.
Okay.
I was like, no, I'm cool. They were like, yeah, but just no more. It's for a block contract. So a block contract, that means you're gonna only shoot for a week.
Oh,
So it's for a limited time. I was like, hey, you know what? This is profile. Sharp. I went there and it was legit. Got contract signed, makeup and all that. And I was like, whoo, I'm in the Muvhango SABC. Like I never imagined so
it could be
quick.
out on
You know,
the thing.
because Skeem Saam shoot at a different place. It's not in SABC. Though it's
there's a different allocation.
yeah, it's produced by SABC. Then I did my thing. People were impressed and all that. Then suddenly scripts started developing there and there. And I was like, most you guys said that I'm gonna shoot for
a week.
Because now it was clashing. I had now an international gig, which
Yeah.
even now I'm still busy on. I go Egypt. I was like, okay, fine. Guys, you said a week and none of what for fly out and all that. They're like, no, Rawatlanyana for 2 more days and all that.
So that you can shoot
Then,
more
sharp.
episodes.
A month went by. Late October, early November, I got a call. Hey, okay, sharp. Before even that, mid-October,
Yep.
there was a call of saying, look, we want you to audition for Open Up the Industry. There's a campaign called Open Up the Industry. So now they're auditioning a lot of people. So the man himself, Dumantrov, was like, I want you to audition for Open Up the Industry. Not specifically for Muvhango,
Yeah.
but for any possible production that might be happening around SABC. SABC wants to have your clips. It's like, oh, okay.
So now SABC actually it's profiling actors. So
yes.
now they can just go on that database and just pick. We want this one. Yeah, that's pretty dope, man.
Well, I
That's,
understand
yeah,
already.
now it makes a lot of sense.
So, but the way Ilenka thing, so is that thing was saying Muvhango itself, the production, has their own auditions.
Yeah.
Isidingo, Ule no is doing High Salio,
The estate.
Seven Dilan, and all, they have their own. Then they're gonna submit their database to SABC as large as a broadcaster to say, these are the people that we think SABC, any production that would want to look into this database.
Oh, that's
So
pretty dope.
So when Muvhango did their own audition in Thoyando and Polokwane,
Yeah.
it was opening up. So they had their final shortlisted 11 candidates. I was the 12th candidate. You understand? Because I didn't audition Lebona.
Yeah,
I auditioned got the final callbacks.
Callbacks,
Now. That's
okay.
where Lauren, okay, it was the guys. And they were like, hey, you guys are now auditioning because we want to have new faces, possible new faces. So now when I was auditioning, they were like, we want to see if your character we could possibly grow it into the story.
But you did kill that role.
You understand?
You did kill that role.
And I was like, because I was so confused. I was like, Mara, you guys at first, you just called me like,
For a week.
here's a role. But now you want to audition me. Why don't you just look at my clips and see if you can grow me into the story or what? I was like, okay, fine, I auditioned. Then I got a call, hey, Jake, you are part of the top two, the final top two. The producers still need to decide between you and this person.
So producers do decide on that. Is it
Yeah.
based on what do they look at when they decide on taking somebody?
It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things, and which now the industry itself is tricky because of maybe the storyline or what the production itself, the agenda that you are pushing. So there's production still you could look for this ones or this actors and actresses have raw talent. So you basically can tell they're looking at the raw talent. And this production you could tell hey, it's all about beauty
connection
and handsomeness and producer.
Okay, you can tell
like,
with some
you understand.
characters,
So
like,
you wouldn't know as an actor to say what really are they looking for until maybe you get to be part of the film and you realize who got cast on what terms, who got cast on what terms. Because on this specific auditions, I don't want to lie, I would say they were looking at talent plus the looks. So because the guy who I was, I hardly compliment guys, ne? But that guy is handsome.
Oh, he was good looking.
He was good looking according to how women would identify a good looking guy.
Okay.
He had muscles, light skin,
he was light skin
and head.
Okay.
That go. And I was like, why are we? I was like, nothing keeping it because of maybe on top. But then at the end they were like, okay, fine. Here the good news: your contract has been extended for 1 year, but you can't be the lawyer of this guy because it's gonna be a contradiction of storyline because we were representing tender before and all that. But then I was like, hey, I'm grateful for it. I've got an extension of 1 year. Even
so you're actually going back?
I'm still going back. Yeah, just that I'm
so it's
not
gonna
part
be
of
the
the
period of from now till when?
Till next year, October.
So they're gonna see you on the screen till then.
Yeah, but just that there will be breaks in between because I'm a call-based actor. I'm not an elite actor whereby I'm shooting every day. I'm shooting on specific times. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I'm just grateful, man. I'm just grateful because also the other thing,
But weren't you scared when you went there for auditions and when you were starting to shoot for the actual muvhango?
For auditions, I was scared. You understand? For audition, I was scared.
Oh, because of that guy, because of that good looking guy.
Not really because of that guy. Yeah. Because I started questioning myself of saying, does that mean
I deserve
my
to be
first
here?
appearance is not of their pleasant standard? Or what? Why would these people cast me and then audition me after? Why was I'm auditioning before when I get the role? Or are they questioning my acting skills? But until I get a clarification of saying, no, it's not about that. We just want also to have your database, SABC, and all that. But then, when now shooting, I wasn't scared because I have an experience before. And before that, I've worked with the River. I've got the role for the River.
You had the River.
And also Skeem. So I'm now familiar with this. I was just gonna call them big productions.
Yeah, they are actually big productions.
I would say big because I agree. It's a lot of equipment, a lot of crew, and
a lot of
all
people
that.
there.
Yeah, unlike your Mzansi Magic, the crew it's limited. But then besides that, I think I'm enjoying being on set more than casually being outside, like living my life, Lucas, and all that. There's a certain satisfaction or peace that I get when I'm working on top. I don't know, maybe is it because of I'm not yet in a space of whereby I'm working every day where someone would say, oh, I need a break.
Yeah, most they say, I need a break. I can't be shooting every day.
Well, I understand, but I don't know. Like I'm enjoying overworking or I'm enjoying being an workaholic compared to having to work.
But I think it's because you do something that you love. For you, it's not about the fame; it's about the passion.
Sure,
because
about telling stories.
Yeah, because most people, it's all about the fame. That's why they get to a point where they're like, hey, this thing is tiring. You have to wake up every day
Sure.
and all that. But if it's for
Sure.
passion,
Sure.
you're gonna enjoy.
Sure. That's why there's even like the scandal. You understand?
Yeah.
Because now people, they're into an industry alone, they don't really understand the roots of it.
Yeah.
Hence, they get to do these other things with a little scandal. They disrespect their
The industry,
images and do funny things. They learn the Kenya into the hot water. To understand? Yeah, and you could tell, okay, the reason why this person is behaving this way because of from the get-go, from the initiative day when they dive into this, it was because of, let's say, Nikatabaya fame that
Than actually passion.
Sure.
And also, your gig on Skeem Saam, how did that come about?
The gig on Skeem Saam came about.
Because next thing, Ravana Lepara, Kidene Jola, what wrong like?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it started with simple voiceovers. These are the fruits also coming from the
voiceovers.
Muvhango Academy. So at Muvhango Academy, there's this one of the facilitators.
Okay.
Called me over, was like, hey, when I'm paying, because he seen me performing.
Yeah.
So now I'm a guy learning when everyone goes this way, I'm going this way. I don't want to be part
You
of
don't
the
take,
flock.
yeah, you take a different direction.
So there was this other monologue. Everyone was approaching it ka English and all. I was like, no, I'm gonna approach it ka Slovene.
Slovene.
I went Slovene way. And that guy was like, nah man, this language because that facilitator is one of the 4 directors that Skeem Saam. I was like, hey, I wanna try you something. Hey, Tabo Skeem Saam, we read a voiceover at bank 10. Then I went to Skeem Saam at first and I did voiceovers. The directors, producers, they came downstairs. They were like, hey, where do we know you from? I was like, I don't think you guys know me from anything. They were like,
Never
nah,
seen
man,
me before.
your voice is familiar. I was like, hey, I don't know, maybe my voice is trying to let someone. They were like, can you act or you only do voiceover? I was like, I can act. And I'm part of, Jumantrova Academy. And this guy, that day, that guy was directing. But this guy is my facilitator and all that. They were like, okay, it's fine, we will talk. Who's your agent and all that?
Cool. So in the industry, do you need to have an agent? Or you can just go rock up and jail?
I think it's advisable to have an
to have
agent.
one.
So having an agent, it's also it's more like having a manager, because the agent know more of the administrative side of things compared to you yourself. Not saying what people are incapable of doing 2 at once, but it's advisable to have someone who's gonna look into the paperwork, negotiations, and all that, because sometimes we as artists as large, whether musicians and all that, we get too excited and get to sign things that we don't thoroughly understand. So a person will come up like, hey, I have 250k for you, come and do this. Here's paperwork. You're not even reading terms and then you start signing. And you're gonna overwork yourself. But then an agent or the manager is gonna sit down, recontract.
Or they also help with reading contracts.
Yeah, because an agent will a contract and say, look, on the contract, this is what we picked up. You're gonna have 2 calls or what. This is the offer. What do you say as an artist? And I'm like, no, negotiate more. Or yes, I'm cool. Then the agent says, sharp, our artist is agreed. We sign contract, agent and send a copy, babalu copy, then we are cool. Control agent grab percentage, SARS grab percentage, Nale Naki grab percentage yak. Understand? Then we cool. But not only you can't do this thing independently, but it's hard.
But it's hard.
It's hard because agent already have certain relationship with production teams on top. So by creating the private auditions on top. So you as an independent artist, it's hard for you to get auditions. Let me say muvhango, for example, on top. Unless it's open up the industry, it's open calls. But then open calls, just know it's gonna be 100,000 of
it's gonna be a lot of people
on a long queue. But if it's from an agent, I know who book it's a slot. Sarka 11 o'clock. Jack must be in an audition room. When I get there, even 5 to 11, I can say, hey, this is my time to audition. And people, when they look into the sheet, they'll be like, yes, get up. I'm not going to be standing long queue. Do I understand?
That makes sense.
So those are the packs.
Those are the benefits and the packs.
Sure.
Which is pretty dope.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go back to the Skeem Saam. You were telling me how you got to audition before I cut you off.
Sharp. Then voiceover, they were like, who's your agent? I was like, my agent is contractors. Actually, they were like, I'm sharp. They didn't say anything. I was like, oh, okay, this is weird. Later on, I got an email from my agent to say, hey, these people, they have a role for you. Please send us your audition clip, try this character, and all that. Then I did. Then they were like, good, you got the role. They didn't tell me what kind of a role it was. To understand? Which sometimes, I'm not sure if I regret or I should be grateful, but I'm one person who trusts in the process and
The process,
change. To say, as much as I fell for it, I'm just hoping it breeds something good. Because it is one of those roles they're not gonna go far in the storyline. And Skeem Saam, it's one of the South African soapies. I told myself, I'll never die until give a part
of it.
Inside.
I remember seeing a post, you were saying something like that, hopefully, you were sharing an old post where you were saying that you wanted at some point, before you could actually stop doing your acting and all that, you want to be part of the production of Skeem Saam.
Yes.
And it happened.
And it happened, and it felt like a dream come true. And because of excitement, I was like, yes, I'm taking the role without understanding the journey of the road. But then I'm like, it's cool. As long as they're not going to kill me in the story. Because I know, South African television, they recycle,
storylines. There's always that guy who's dying. You're like,
I don't want to die. You rather take me to jail. Don't kill me.
At the end, you went to jail.
I'm still in hiding, according to the storyline.
Oh, you're still in hiding?
Yeah.
But do you think at some point they could actually bring back that character?
They're gonna bring it because now they need to conclude for what they're doing. Because I'm one of the major wanted people
on no Skeem. Yeah,
which is just... my face is always in the Malevana's office. You understand? So the storyline needs to be concluded. Or did Malevana catch this person?
Or
they
still
shoot
on hiding?
Him? Or he's still on hiding now? I don't know, but what I'm definitely no correct, they're gonna call me at some point.
But that character is so good.
Wow,
in a very short period of time.
I just shot people there, pew, and people now.
And somebody's good when people are complaining when they're watching. They're like, Raman Khan, why was some You know that there's something good you do.
Yeah, but I think that's how my year started great. And the thing that I think the marathon started last year, 2021, early January, having to get a role because what?
And it's also one of the biggest production at this point.
Yeah.
And it's always looking for new faces.
New faces. Understand? And they don't keep faces long, not just because of favors and all that, but because of that thing of saying, we believe there's a lot of you guys that can offer. So, in storyline for you, out. The next, out.
I hear a lot of people complaining about saying that in the industry you need to have connection in order to get in. Mm-hmm. But now when I'm having conversation with you, I realize that sometimes it's not that. It's all about your hard work.
It's all about hard work.
I've seen what a lot of upcoming talents, they like to act big.
Sure.
I think that's the other problem because they wouldn't work for a production that is not paying. They'll tell you, I'm not going there.
Sure.
And with you, you've done production where you didn't get paid.
Not even.
And later on, it started paying off.
Yeah. Production is I even had to beg to say, hey Joe, kopa. They were like, and I kept on being persistent to be like, if you need a person and all that. Because my focus was growing myself and growing the profile. You understand? Yeah.
But now that the profile is big, where to, Jack?
I wouldn't say the profile is big,
but it's getting fatter.
It's getting fatter day by day.
Day by day, hour by hour, it's getting bigger.
Yeah, we understand already. I think I'm still headed to my goals, and I don't think I will ever reach my goals because I think the minute I reach my goals, I'm gonna be like, nah, but there's that other goal and that other goal.
It becomes like a hamster wheel where you keep on,
My direction now is having to be like a global actor. So by global actor, I mean whereby I get to be a lead of any South African soapy. That's what I want. You understand?
But what soapy would you say you wanna beside muvhango?
At this moment, I don't have. Okay, my second victim. I'm gonna call it a victim. So my second victim soapy that I would like to see myself on. It's Scandal.
Scandal.
Yeah. Reason being correct, Scandal has raw talent, has real talent. A friend of mine, Uko Scandal by Mama Room or I forgot the role I did go Scandal. She's good.
Yeah.
Ne? And I was congratulating her. I was like, hey, I see you're on Scandal. And I think it's part of the league now. And this other guy, Matthews Rantomo, playing Clarks.
Tlamulo is very good.
He's from the
that guy is
market.
good.
So, and
So
I
you've
realized,
actually seen him in the theater. You worked with him
yeah,
before.
I've met him a couple of times.
You've worked with him before.
Not really worked with him direct,
direct,
but you know, indirect, we've worked together. Yeah, and
'Cause it's
I've
good,
realized
man.
Roskanda has good actors.
Yeah.
So also, Lena, I would like to be in a space where I feel challenged. I feel like, hey, Ajay, I'm more out there. You need to work more.
Because I feel like in Scandal, you need to know a couple of languages. You can't just be one language.
You can't. And Hokarlebella Scandal, it's not like other soapies. Yeah,
not.
other soapies, they show how you have curves, how you have muscles and all that.
yeah.
But with Scandal,
It's all about talent. Yeah,
you're
you're always here.
It's all about emotions and your. They don't care whether you have curves and all. Yeah, they will show those, but bam.
That's what I was actually wondering. Every time we won,
Sure.
And also, they have most talented actors. The character, for example, Mdala, he knows how to switch from Spedi to some Ndebele to like.
Yeah, those are actors with theater backgrounds.
Yeah.
Ndala, Konje was this? Bongani's Toll. Okay, Bongani's Toll. Yeah, Bongani's Toll. Yeah, he's from TUT. Did theater and all that. So, I think I would say most actors with theater background, they get to be more invested into the craft.
Yeah. And they dominate.
Sure, because theater teaches you certain basics. People who just only studied film and television, they won't teach you. Theater teaches you to stay prepared, to know your thing by head, by heart, to be truthful when you act. You understand?
It's more like a manufacturing warehouse where they manufacture you. When you come out there, the proper product.
Yeah, that's why we call theater the mother of acting.
Yeah, the mother of acting, which is because a lot of people want theater, when they go on screen, they kill all the roles.
Sure thing.
So you're saying that Scandal could be your second?
Yeah, I think at this moment I'm working at that, but
not even House of Sweden.
Well, I'm not following House of Sweden all that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not choosy at this moment, because the main thing is for me to be a great actor amongst other great actors, to tell beautiful South African stories authentically. So, because we see people acting, but the storylines are long by the actor, but it's
you don't even understand what's
going on. But it's
going on.
light.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that. So I want to tell beautiful South African stories with much more truth. You understand? So I don't care which production team I'm in, but what I want to grow. Wherever I go, I need to grow from that. I don't want to remain that same face, same acting type of a thing. You understand? Because you know, one of the craziest thing, and I've been telling people, I was like, you know, I think I would be pleased to act a role whereby Lorengi, I'm gay, a pastor who's also crippled. I think that's the most craziest. Not really what I'm saying. What the combination is crazy, but I think that's one role. It's not yet explored, but I feel like if they could say, Jack, you are this gay, but you are a pastor having a church, but you are crippled. You understand? I think it's one challenge I'm waiting for myself. You understand? And God help me, maybe develop my own production and become the the new figure said, I get to have my own production and act in them, so that I could create this character. Because you can't be having normal characters, because these people, we do have them.
Yeah, we do have them.
We just don't explore them. You understand? Because we also have gay or lesbian preachers and
preachers, yeah.
Understand? How about we explore that and we understand their world or how they are in a certain type of space,
Yeah, which is
I understand already. Yeah,
because I think the more we do that, people will actually get to understand things that they don't understand. Because I think a lot of people, because of lack of information,
sure,
they decide to hate or say things because they don't understand.
sure.
If we could teach people about such about things like that, they would actually understand. Oh, okay, this is what's happening in the world at this point.
Sure.
Because the world is developing.
Sure.
You can't be stuck.
Exactly. You know, it's a thing of saying, Hore, people are still captured of a certain mentality.
Yeah.
And the more people are captured of a certain mentality, we now reject the new reality or the new normal, if I may put it that way. I would say back then in the days, being your true self, whether be a gay, a lesbian, a bisexual and all that, it was not easy to be out there and allow people to accept you how you are, because it was full of hate, judgment, and a lot of rejection from the world itself. But now we grew up into a new reality where we know, okay, we have certain people of certain life. You know, they are gays, they are lesbians and all that. And that's something we should teach this young generation, not to point fingers as though being gay, it's disability or what. This thing, it's more like if you were born with a certain disability. There's nothing you can do. You didn't do that to yourself. You were just born like that. Yeah. Same thing that happens with the LGBTQ family. To say, I was born like this, I didn't choose to be like this. This is how I feel, or these are the hormones or certain scientific thing that is dominant within me. This is how I feel towards this certain type of gender or towards certain things. This is how fragile I am or hardcore I am. You know, and we should accept those kind of people, because the very same way we can accept or as without having accident and all that, then we should accept or there are people with certain hormones or desires, or I don't know how to put it, but I understand.
I get what you're saying.
Sure,
I get what you're saying.
You know, yeah, but it's something we should teach the young ones, because if now we're gonna be divided into two, we're going to have a problem, because there's people who now get to choose when to accept certain things, and there's people who just never accept, just because they grew up in a certain way. They're like, hey, this is it, and it should be like this, nothing else, nothing more. You understand? Sure.
Yeah, I think if we get to teach people, then we get to understand what's going on, what's happening. I think people only, if they don't understand something, they bash it. But if they get to understand,
so
it becomes less of the hassle.
Sometimes it's safer if you don't understand things. Just don't talk about it.
I always like saying that if you don't understand something, don't engage.
Yeah.
It won't make you seem less, or it won't make you seem like you're not smart.
Sure.
Because I think the society always want to have an opinion on anything.
Sure.
And some of the things these are out of my reach. Like, let me not say anything.
Sure.
So regarding the industry, do you, at this point, since you're working with agencies and all that, do you feel like the industry is still producing quality actors like it used to back in the days? Your Silo Makanube, your like Jerry Pets, your legends.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, and that's the current frustration we are having, or let me say, the well-known actors and actresses that we grew up on screens are having. Because now, at this moment, I don't believe yet or I've arrived, but I feel like I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But this thing, it's frustration, because now productions, they no longer cast on the raw talent. They cast based on followership. Do you have followers? Are you a business? If we get to cast you, do you bring your 20k followers from Twitter or Instagram to watch the show now? You understand? And when they do a background, their social media, how they say, okay, after 20 minutes of posting your picture or what, they see you have 10k
Yeah,
likes.
10K
They're like,
likes.
oh, this person here come caster. And Haka post was like, hey, I'm gonna be in so and so production. Obviously, they know already they've secured what? 10,000 people who gonna watch the show.
Yeah.
And the more show becomes one of the top viewed or have more viewers, the channel gives it season after season after, because you are bringing business into it. But now they have sabotaged, or they have less valued the talent. They've now chasing money compared to telling stories authentically. So
Because I've seen in the last, let me just say in the last 10 years,
sure,
we haven't had, it's only few good actors that
Sure.
you can actually be like, he's good.
yeah,
Back then you'd be like, yeah, the whole production is good. Because now when you're
Yeah.
watching a soap, you can just choose 3 characters that are good, and the rest it's vibes. You're like,
Yeah.
they're here for vibes. It's okay.
Well, I understand,
because
just
Banbali
because-
has a lot of following.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam is known because of 1, 2, 3. So
sure,
it's there.
sure.
And I feel like also it's a problem for to the actors who are good, because now you have to carry the show.
My brother, I don't want to tell you lies, man. But our industry, it's cruel to a point, Olorengi. You've got to live a certain lifestyle, eat certain foods, have certain things for you to be considered. You know, there are castings or auditions whereby, Olorengi, they will tell you what kind of skin color they're looking for.
Really?
What kind of teeth shape, eye color, hair type, height. They don't care about your talent or can you act and all that. They'll be like, hey, we want to cast for an advert of Samuel's food. But no, man, your skin needs to speak to the Samuel's chicken. When people see you, they need to be like, hey, this is that guy from that advert. And then if you come there as dark as I am, they're like, too dark.
Too dark.
If yellow bone, they're like, too light.
Too light.
Then you get to another casting, they're like, we want dark guys.
It's very
Meaning
dark
they're like,
man.
we want a light man. Then you don't know how to be.
And you end up using what? Script?
You know,
Let me not mention the
put in
product.
the mess.
Yeah,
Well, understand. You end up
too
using
light
put in
now.
the mess. I understand. That's why, like, you see now, other people are living certain lifestyles and going to certain places because of the pressures they have. Now, because I've realized, here's the thing. The funny thing, here's the thing. 2019, there was a new open up industry, ne? Whereby Lauren, they say we're now casting real people.
Okay.
I don't know if I understand.
Yeah,
that. They're now casting real people. So by real people, that means they're casting. I don't know how to put this because I don't want to offend anyone, eh? But it's that thing of saying we're no longer gonna cast your charmer boys, your beautiful girls with cap. No, we're gonna cast those people that we consider them as ugly. Those people who are raw, those who are raw Kenya the makeup, those people with funny body shapes, dwarves and all that. So in 2019, production were obsessed in casting real people. Right? And now real people started having opportunities. We started seeing other characters that we think they are funny, but they had raw talent. Right? Sharp. It went there. Then now from there, they were like, these ones are not bringing any followers because these real people don't have social media. Mostly they are from villages and all that. Like, okay, we're going back. Now, back in Jack Pressure say you need to hit gym even if you are not a gym person.
Yeah. So it's already 6 pack.
Problem here, but I'm like, hey, I'm still going to gym. I don't care whether my blood rate is high or what. But now I need to have muscles just to have chances of being cast as this lover boy, as this lady's ideal man. Understand? Then Urunzu in a lady muscles, you go and audition for something and they're like, hey, we wish if you had more kaba so that maybe you could be a Nkari of taxi drivers. But you are muscular. We don't have a Nkari who eat scorp with 6 packs. But can you go and get some fat within 6 months? Then I changed it. Everything. Then I come back, I'm like, hi guys, here I am, and all that. They're like, good, we are casting you for a week. Then when I go back, they're like, check what happened to your six-pack, Baba. We had so you see now my body.
There's no balance in the industry.
Exact. And I saw like your feelings like what at more at any point.
The next thing you lose weight.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, walwala.
Hey, somebody probably una 3 letters. You know, there's speculation.
Then the next thing, when you become big, you're like, guy, medication,
medication,
like
what
low,
which they don't understand.
There's too much pressure.
There's too much pressure. I don't want to lie.
There's too much pressure.
But there's always choices.
So have you ever turned down a road?
No. I've never turned down a road. Just situations turned down a road on me. So you have another thing of saying having 2 plates at once, and these are your favorite meals. But it happens already they served you this plate. And they brought another plate. And you explain to this one or one again another plate, and this one they're like, okay, it's fine, we'll take it back. Yeah. But me having to say no, I can't do that and all that, no, I've not. And I don't think I'll ever reach that stage.
Because sometimes you find that the character of family on it goes against your beliefs. You know, people with beliefs, you might be like, no, because
Sure. No, I don't know. Like I've made precise and intentional decisions when I come into this industry of saying I'm just gonna be neutral like water. If you come ka sweet 8, I'm gonna accommodate you. If you come ka oros, I'm gonna accommodate you. If you just drink me as water, still it's fine. Let's roll. I'm not gonna restrict myself just because I'm a certain belief of certain things or I'm certain following things. That's why I'm not in any political party and all that. I'm not affiliated with any company and all that. And even if any company comes to me, I don't care of their agendas. If you bring me money or business and all that, it's fine. Even if I work with competitors, hey, those are your problems. Sort them out. Now I'm here, I'm gonna render my services. If you ask for my service, I'm gonna do them to you. So don't influence me to say, since when you're working with me, don't work with this other person. No, that's not how it works.
And the pressure of the industry.
Yeah.
We've seen in the past 6 months, and we lost a lot. Mostly it's suicide because of depression and anxiety. Do you think some productions are toxic or it's just the pressure?
I don't know how to put this, but I wouldn't say productions are toxic. People just sign up for things they can't
don't
stand.
understand.
They do understand at first, but when now things become or gets to be real, they can't stand the pressure. It's more like being in an interview and you tell your boss or your possible employer to say, I'm a hard worker, I don't mind going in extra mile.
That's what we always say. I work hard.
Exactly.
8 to 8.
Yeah,
7
like
days
I'm willing to go even 10 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours.
People come first to me. Then you get into a space where you like the nest and it's my tea break. But whereas during interview you said that people come first.
Yeah, people come first.
So it's same applies with the industry. The industry, there's a contract that they specify to say, hey, you are on first call basis. That means first call is that thing of saying, whenever we need you need to respond.
Doesn't matter where you are.
Under reasonable circumstances. We're not about this week short. Then Friday morning they call you like, hey Sam, askis in faith. We just realized now we shoot and no come. You can't be saying, but I had a lunch with my Gita, we planned. You signed the contract saying you're gonna be on first call basis. Then you're gonna go on social media bashing them to say, hey, they are toxic, and all that. And also, that's something a lot of it happens because I remember there were some few articles I read about them, which morally wise and all that, it's not fair, but it's what you signed up for. So there was an article of this certain actor who complained to say the productions are not sympathetic. I had a funeral go high and they didn't allow me to go attend. They wanted me to be at work. That's work also itself. Yes, those are family and personal problems and all that. And production cannot bend over for everyone. You understand? And it's like a funeral or death. It's something you can't predict when it's coming.
Yeah, those are things that
Yes, it's unfair on a different eye. But also those people who are bus spanning and they need you and you signed up, or whenever they need you, you're gonna be
doesn't matter what's happening.
I understand, but because death is a sudden thing, it's not something guys next week go high home and but if you communicate prior to say next week I'm having 1, 2, 3, then you guys can have a certain arrangement.
Yeah, you can work around it.
I wouldn't say productions are toxic. It's a matter of standing your right and all that. And also that's where now the agent gets in as your manager or as your lawyer to say, this is our person has been working overtime or what. How about then let's come meter for this time, then they won't rate and all that. It's all about negotiations respectfully and on a right grounds. You understand that? Yeah.
But because I've seen a lot of people, like it seems like, I don't know if it's something that's happened to a lot of people in the industry, they're depressed. Like depression is just like now it's at its peak.
But sometimes it's a depression coming from unfairness circumstances, but some of the depressions or anxieties and what we as artists, we call them for ourselves. How? Here's Jack.
Okay.
Jackie wamona hore, okay, utlahela ko muvhango. Wa understand?
Okay.
Jackie utlahela ko muvhango. Sharp people get to congratulate. Jack automobile mentality of saying, bampana ko muvhango kasa khona nna ko kasi. Then you go and then you go and move or the parks and meet the standards. I can't even afford rent for the parks some at all. I can't afford the lifestyle for the parks some at all. It's not marang how do you call it? You understand? Or maybe Zagil no SARS, I'm no longer taking it because I want to cover any. Then SARS is gonna come back.
It's gonna come back.
3 to 5 years later,
it's gonna come back.
You owe us millions.
It's gonna come back. Just like how it got Dr. Malinga. It's gonna come back.
So understand or so is that thing of saying people need to decide and we make choices. So that's one choice I made. My brother, I have all chances, or I had all chances to move out of Kasi. Since also Kasi, it's known as the Bed Township in Gauteng and all that. I had all the chances to move and be in better townships like Soweto, or move to better places. But that's not my mission.
Because I was actually shocked when I was reaching out to you when you're telling me that I'm around the hood. I'm like,
yeah,
because I thought probably by now I'm on the other side of the town.
And that's not, and of course eventually I'm gonna move out to a certain place under forced circumstances. But now my mission is that thing of saying, I want to show the young ones and even my generation group to show them to say, hey, it's possible. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Not every successful artist or every upcoming actor, actress, sing and all that is always coming from Soweto. No, that's not the narrative. The narrative needs to change. Diepsloot we have beautiful talent. We have people who also appear in TV. We have people who also push the craft and all that. That's something I want. When they're in school, they'll be like, write of someone who inspires you and all that, and everyone should think of Jack. And they'll be like, who's this Jack? Jack is an actor. Oh, number 7, Kokas. That's the agenda. That's why. Because now I'm making it, I can't be moving to Proteas land. And suddenly, 3 months down the line, hey, this guy secured a big role, this guy from Soweto, Proteas. And you guys are going to be like, what's that man? But why are they saying Soweto? I understand.
I get what you said.
And also sometimes, here I am. Why should I put myself under pressure of saying I need to have a BMW 3 Series? Just
for the gram. You know, just like how the piano artists are living. You know,
I understand.
It's here there.
What's wrong with me having to walk? Like, I usually explain to people to say, being an actor, there's no difference from someone who works in a retail store. I'm not gonna mention names, but there's that thing of saying what the difference between Naloena is that what Naspanesak Basbonsa TV.
Fair.
So how I was going to see,
But
listen, we are earning the peanuts like you, man. Don't feel the pressures.
Because mostly the moment they start getting gigs, Mutsumus goes to bigger places, and you find that at the time it's a 6 months contract.
Sure.
After 6 months,
what?
The next
how
thing,
are you gonna survive?
The next thing, Baba donation.
I understand.
You know,
move to places according to your standards and knowing value you're gonna be affording. Or when I'm not right now, if I can get, let's say, a 5-year contract, every month, Zaga of course I'm gonna move out Mokas, but guess what? I'm not even gonna move far from Kokas. Either I might go to Bonds, Sabu Oliveni or Riverside area, because I always want to come back Mokas, because that's where my inspiration of hard work started. So whenever I'm in Mokas, I can like smell some bowl, like chisanyama, kirigidutinyana, huta there and there. These things, they inspire me to be like, Jack, you still wanna go out of cars, you still want to change the narrative of diepsloot and all that. I'm not gonna move into the suburbs. Hey, get to work up come on.
I'm more than Mike.
You got to work about the Mike. Hey, Mike, who couldn't turn a matter more? We already. Always a time. I need those conversations. I don't want to be having sound young next door over, and I'm like, where are the neighbors? The only time you see them is when they pass Kapolo, when on such alone and it's all quiet in the neighborhood. You see the security. No, I don't want that life.
Let's talk about your Egypt trip before we close. What is it all about?
It's a serious shoot. It's a gig.
And Netflix series, or it's just
I think it's going to be Netflix, Amazon, and others, because they said they're gonna distribute it to a lot of channels and platforms. But what I know now, Korare, it's a production that is based in Dubai. Then they happen to the shooting location. It's in Egypt.
Oh,
so yeah.
I always thought you go to Dubai. Every time you tell me that I'm flying out, I thought you go to Dubai because I see the sands.
Yeah, because it's Arabic water and all that. But the production is based in Dubai. We're shooting in Egypt.
Yeah,
sure. Because also sometimes we'll catch connecting flights from here to Dubai to Cairo. Sure. So it's a serious shoot. I get to secure the road. I'm part of the African storyline. So they're shooting 3 storylines. There's Indian storyline, there's African storyline, and there's Caucasian storyline. So I'm part of the African ones. It's about slavery and all that, which I happen to be one of the lead actors.
You're not a slave then?
Of course I'm a slave, but I'm a lead actor, so the story is about us. I'm not an extra like other ones who are chained and all that.
Chained, yeah.
Yeah, so, which is a great offer, a different experience. Big production. Yeah, I see cameras in SABC, but those ones are cameras.
Yeah.
You see something coming like, this is a camera. It's a lot of people. Like, I don't even know the crew of it. You find a crew of 60 to 70 something people. You find where there's first assistant director, second, third, fourth. There's people who look after babies. There's people who specifically just look after you. Like, I have my own, I don't know whether to say it's a bodyguard or what. When it's hot, they come with a camera. Like, this person is assigned for me. Every actor only, like, that person after 2 minutes comes, are you okay? I'm like, yes. What do you want? Please get me a certain type of drink. Come. What do you want? I know I'm okay. Then, like, it feels like, I feel like I'm made when I'm that. I understand. But then I realized during standards, you understand, also productions that has big budgets and all that, you become in a new space. It's more like Namujita Bokasi having to win a lotto and suddenly have a house in Santin. So the transformation because when we try to talk and when we get there, you're having sushi and bacon and cheese in the morning. It's not usual. You're still trying to adjust. But the Egypt gig, it's awesome. I don't want to lie. I've traveled there 2 times so far. Next week I'm also traveling there to shoot, because I create a series and we've been shooting week after week. give a non-creela dada.
Fruta was such a wheel, I would the thing.
Yeah, I
The
can
clothing
go the Arabic thing. Yeah, but next week I'm going there flying to shoot certain scenes, which I don't know whether I get a village or I'm still gonna go
continue.
back now. Yeah, but for this year, this is going to be the last trip. If we don't finish, that means it's gonna be like next year because it's a series. But I'm grateful for that, and I'm hoping from this international gig, I'm gonna get more international
gigs.
because the aim is to make it big and to explore the world.
Jeez,
You understand? That's the aim.
your story is faithful. Like it's impressive, it's inspirational.
Sure,
Coming from dusty streets of the north
sure,
to the world,
sure.
and it shows that it's possible. Like it's possible.
You know, like I was feeling
Possible.
proud when I was uploading these things on my socials to be like, from the dusty streets of the north to Cairo.
To Cairo.
How many of people from Kokasi who has made it to as close as Kenya, as close as Ghana,
Not
as
even
close
Kenya,
as
man.
Zimbabwe, our neighboring,
Not even Zimbabwe's far, man. We talk about Cape Town.
Cape Town. Well, understand?
Bruh, like-
Yes, it's few. Yeah, people do go there for vacations and all that. But how many people get to make it to other countries due to the work that they are doing? Not just any work because every morning you are forced to wake up, but every morning you are excited to go to work. Having to go places with something that you truly love doing. Like it felt like a dream coming true. Like I was like, what?
And I think at this point you still feel like Osalora.
Yes, I don't even want to lie.
But it's happening.
It was so funny because it was my first time flying out of the country, first time having to experience an aeroplane, first time having to get such kingship treatment. It felt like someone could just tap at me like, Ejo, or hallucinate. And it was funny because now when I got to the airport, our Tambo was big, having to read each and every board, asking, where is this place? My first time, so there was a point I was supposed to be flying on Wednesday, Kashiaka flight, because I got late. Friday, I was I'm gonna be full. I'm gonna ask everyone, okay, what is this place? Where do I go? Here's my passport, 1, 2, 3. Then they directed me, having to be in a plane, taking off. I was like, more. So having that thing of saying, one mistake. I go for super I used to have that, but I was like, no, positivity check. And even when I land in Cairo, people there, they speaking a different language, about English. Now I had to use phone. Like Cairo people, it's only few people who understand. Then I used Google Translator to Arabic. I was like, hey, my name is Mama, I want. Then I let them read in Arabic. Then they respond. I'm like, so it was crazy, man. It was even where I'm working in Egypt, people don't really understand English. But sometimes I have to write down. Sometimes I have to speak with sign language to say tea, hot. It's funny. It's funny, and that's when I realized that actually the world is big. The world is not just Mokasi. The world is
bigger than cars.
Yeah, and people are doing massive things outside. Because when I went to the airport and Kitsena into a Cairo aeroplane and having to see our South African brothers and sisters going to Cairo or Dubai for a vacation, I realized that actually people are living large. You understand? Someone is going out just to have a vacation. And I'm talking of our brothers and sisters of our color. That's when I realized that no, actually, it's possible in life. It's possible. Life is not fella Okasi fella or in Gauteng or in South Africa. Life is big out there, and that's why they always say, don't aim for the stars, aim for the galaxy. You understand? Because if you get to aim for the galaxy, even if you don't reach the galaxy, but you can reach the stars. You understand already? Sure.
It's pretty good.
Sure.
I think like your story, man, is just it's so because of it coming from Kasi, going out there, and now all the kids in the hood, they will understand. But okay, it's possible. You just need to be consistent and do 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
Look up to people like Jack.
Sure.
Like it's impressive. Bro.
Sure. That's the narrative that I'm pushing. Nothing else. I don't want to be that guy would come and all that. I want the young ones, my generation and the younger generation, to come to be like, hey Joe, how did you make it? Coco Feli tips, and I'm like, oh, do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is what worked for me. I'm not gonna give you some book theory to say, hey, I'm gonna tell you what this is what I did and it worked for me. Do it. It might work for you, it might not work for you.
But I can remember with Sarah, how do you do it? I started my restaurant with a cup of rice. Not explaining that I had to do 1, 2, 3.
Some people are just selfish.
Started with
If I get
drink.
to tell you how I made it, it's not like we're not going to tell us span. You're gonna take Spanish saga if I get to be relaxed.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And it's not motivator. Okay, story side clear so.
Exactly. You understand? Because now if I get to tell you do this and you get to come to be like, hey Joe, what you told me it's working. Now I'm like, okay, I need to do more because now I know I have pressure of you looking up to me.
Yeah.
Then when I get to a certain level, you're like, then how do I get there? So I become like a builder of a step ladder. I understand? I'm like, no, ska khatara. We're probably say at some point in my life because I know that if I'm leading this whole thing. If I fall, I know people who are gonna pick me up. Because these young ones, they won't gonna let me fall. Because they've been under my leadership.
Yeah.
Because if now I fall, they can't continue. They're gonna bring me up to like, Ejo, when you've been leading us, go back up because we have been following your steps. You understand? Sure.
Thanks for having me, dog.
When I pull up in the spot, they be asking what I got. Yes, for an extra mile, an extra inch for the dot. When I pull up in the spot, better